Good morning. You might have noticed a name change for this year's AIDS Walk in D.C. After 27 years known as AIDS Walk Washington, it's now being called the Walk to End HIV. Well, joining me to talk more about why that is and why you should participate is Tiffany Gilliard of Whitman-Walker Health. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning.
Well, new name. It's a new year. Tell me why you guys changed your name.
You know, there is significant stigma around AIDS. And when you say the name AIDS Walk, people automatically think about death and dying.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we wanted to do this year was to remind people that we now know HIV is a condition that people are living with. It's a chronic illness. We don't want to associate it with death and dying anymore. We want to talk about living, and we want to talk about healthy living with HIV, but we also want to talk about how do we get to the end of HIV.
Yeah.
So instead of AIDS Walk, we want to talk about the Walk to End HIV.
I love that. Yeah, that's very, very good. Are the numbers that different now? Are people coming in and being tested?
People are coming in to be tested, and we've seen a lot of improvement. The numbers are certainly going down, but we still have a problem with people being tested and knowing their status. Would you believe still 1 in 6 people living in America don't know their status? 1 in 6 people are HIV positive. They're living with the disease and they don't even know it because they won't go to be tested. So while we're seeing some improvements, we still have a lot of work to do. And that's why we still have this walk every year. We want people to know that you can live a long life with HIV, but you've got to know your status.
You've got to know your status. You've got to get tested, and then if you need it, you've got to get the medication. The numbers in Washington, D.C. are staggering.
Yes.
Especially in the African American and Hispanic community.
Yes. Why
is that? Is it because we don't get tested?
I think so. And let me give you a number that's really going to blow your mind. 93% of the women who are HIV positive living in Washington, D.C. are women of color. 93%.
Wow.
That's a large number. So of all of the women in D.C. that are HIV positive, 93% are black.
Crazy.
And 1 in 16 black men, 1 in 32 black women will contract the virus before in their lifetime. And a lot of it is we still aren't talking about HIV and AIDS in communities of color. We still have a stigma associated with being tested, with knowing your status. And I think a lot of it has to do with people associate HIV with a lifestyle or behavior. And it really is about your personal health.
Things have really changed. I mean,
yes.
I was telling you earlier, I lost my best friend, Melvin Lindsay, who created the Quiet Storm radio format, died of AIDS, but that was a long time ago, before the medicines were as they are now.
Yeah.
It's come a long way.
We have. So the Walk to End HIV, AIDS Walk, this is the 28th year. 30 years ago, we didn't have a cure. 30 years ago, it was a death sentence. And today, with the advancements of medicine and research, we now know, again, that HIV is a chronic condition that people can live with. But the key to it is knowing your status. So the earlier you get detected, the earlier you're tested, the earlier we can detect, the earlier we can get you on medication. If you get into treatment and stay in treatment, you're not dying from HIV.
Tell me about your walk that's coming up this Saturday.
Yes. So the Walk to End HIV is Saturday, October 25th. We kick off from Freedom Plaza at 9:15. Festivities with warm-up and all sorts of exercises and activities start as early as 8:15. And this is a walk for everybody. We have a walk and a timed run. So for all the runners, we want people to come on out and get your times so you're ready to run the marathon the next day.
I love it.
Children, dogs, the whole family.
You can even bring your dog.
You can even sleepwalk as long as you fundraise. That's right. That's right.
So, all right, if you want to just come out, bring the family, bring the dog.
Yeah, it's a great morning.
How do you get started to sign up to register?
www.walktoendhiv.org. That's walktoendhiv.org. Or you can go to the Whitman-Walker Health website, which is whitman.walker.org.
That's a lot to remember. You got all of that
Whitman-Walker.
I love it. Are you going to be out there?
I will be there. I'll be there as early as 5:15.
It's pretty early. Well, you know what? I did sign up to do another walk on Saturday, and hopefully I can make them both.
You can do both.
I could use the exercise.
There are a lot of activities going on
and
Saturday.
It's a great cause.
That's right.
Tiffany, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
We'll be back with more Let's Talk Live right after this.